Hello and welcome, I'm Ken Gowdy from Sax Comprehensive, and this video will be a tutorial of the Korg TM60 tuner metronome combo along with the contact microphone. It has some unique features, especially for ear training, such as the sound out and sound back functions, so stay tuned. On the back of the TM60 is the battery compartment, which takes two AAA batteries. It will also show a low battery icon on the display when the batteries need replacing. There is also a pull-out stand so it can sit at an angle on a flat surface. On the top of the TM60 is the volume control. The volume is not very loud, but on the right hand side is a small jack socket for headphones. This jack socket could also be used to connect the TM60 to an external speaker system to increase the volume. There is also a larger input jack socket which can be used to connect it to some form of pickup like on a guitar, or it can be used for the contact microphone, which will allow the tuner to make more accurate readings, especially when there is background noise. So for the saxophone player, this means connecting the contact microphone to the bell. On the front of the TM60 at the top are the on-off buttons for the metronome and for the tuner. The button on the right turns on and off the metronome, and the button on the left turns on and off the tuner. You can switch one or both of these functions on at the same time, so you can either use the metronome or tuner alone, or both simultaneously. The placement of the buttons is below the surface, so it won't switch on accidentally if you carry it around in your pocket. It will also switch itself off after 20 minutes of inactivity, saving your battery life. Once you switch on, the display will light up. If it doesn't, you can use the lamp button to switch on the backlight for the display. Each time you press the lamp button, it will cycle between the soft, auto and off settings. The soft setting is dim to save battery life. The auto setting will be bright when sound is inputted or a button is pressed, and will then go dim after 10 seconds when no sound or button is pressed, again to save your battery life. The off setting will obviously not light up the display. The controls for the metronome are on the right hand side of the TM60, and the controls for the tuner are on the left hand side. The TM60 remembers all the settings that you last used prior to switching it off, so you do not need to reset it every time you switch it on. Starting with the metronome on the right, the start-stop button will either start or stop the metronome. It will remember your last setting, so when you switch it on, it will start with the tempo that you last used. The tap tempo button will blink according to the tempo, which will help you visually. The clicking sound is such that it distinguishes between the first beat and the rest of the beats. The speaker is on the front, so it's easy to hear. You can change the tempo with the tempo button. The up arrow increases the tempo and the down button decreases it. You can also change how the tempo changes. It will either change like the old mechanical metronomes, which skipped certain tempos. If you hold down the button, it will scroll through these tempos faster. When the TM60 has this setting, there will be a metronome icon on the display. However, if you hold down both arrows for a second, then the metronome icon will disappear and you will be able to change the tempo by single increments. You can also tap out the tempo that you want on the tempo button and it will display and play that tempo. This function can be used to find out the tempo of songs. If the tempo that you tap out is below 30 beats per minute, then the display will say low and set it to its minimum value of 30 beats per minute. If you tap faster than 252 beats per minute, then the display will say high and set it to its maximum value of 252 beats per minute. The beat button is used to change the type of beat, starting with 0 to 9 beats per bar, then various quadruplets, triplets and duplets. Here are the screenshots of the 15 rhythm variations. On the tuner side, there is a built-in microphone. This is disabled when the input jack is used. On the top are the red and green lights to show whether the note is sharp, flat or in tune. The tuner has three modes: meter mode, sound out mode and sound back mode. In meter mode, it acts like an ordinary tuner and will detect a large range of notes between C1 and C8. The notes detected will be displayed on the screen and the needle will show to what degree it is in tune. There are two arrows on the display should you wish to tune to a just minor or a just major third, which may help when playing with other instruments in an ensemble. The calibration button will allow you to set the calibration. Usually you want this to be set to 440 Hz. but you can set it to anything between 410 and 480 Hz. Holding down the button will allow you to scroll through the frequencies faster. If you press the sound back button again, it will switch from meter mode to sound mode. This is basically a tone generator. The calibration button raises or lowers the tone from C3 to C6. Again, if you hold down the button, you'll be able to scroll through the tones faster. The TM60 will remember the settings you last used, so you don't have to find this note again the next time you switch it on. If you hold down the sound back button, it will switch to the sound back mode, and the word sound back will be displayed on the screen to let you know that you are in this mode. This mode only works when the input jack is used or the headphone jack is used, or both. In this mode, the TM60 will play back the tone closest to the tone being inputted. So if you play a C but are a little flat, then the TM60 will play back a perfect C. This will help your ears to get accustomed to the correct sounds and allow you to perceive how far off you are from the correct pitch. So hopefully you heard or saw that when I played a note on the saxophone, the TM60 not only showed me what note I was playing, but also played back that note at its correct pitch, giving me the opportunity to make a comparison between the note that I was playing and that note at its correct pitch. There are lots of metronomes and tuners out there, some that you find online, some that you can download to your mobile phone. Some are designed for the saxophone in the fact that they actually transpose the note for your particular instrument. But the TM60 has been Korg's best-selling metronome tuner combo for quite some time, and therefore I decided to do a tutorial on it. Hopefully you found it informative and helpful. If you did, then give it a like as usual and share it with your friends. And if you're not yet a subscriber, consider subscribing to this channel, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.